Good morning, world. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever, whatever time it is, wherever you're seeing this video at. First thing I'd like to do is thank everybody for their comments and their messages that they sent to me. They're really heartfelt, and I'm just really grateful for this. Today I want to talk to you about something that I usually is the first question I ask people that I'm working with, and it's, do you even know what it is you want in life? What you want from your life? Like, what you want your life to look like? And I know a lot of people, they have no idea, because I'd say a good 90% of people I ask this question to, they'll come back at me quick with like, oh yeah, sure, man, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, I want a big house, I want a Ferrari, I want this, I want that. Yeah, okay, that's great, but that's not really what I'm asking. I'm asking you, in whole, where do you want to be in life? Like, have you ever really thought about this? Like, if you want to be rich, okay, how much money do you want to make? How much money a year would make you happy if you made? What kind of car do you want? You want a Ferrari? Okay, what's the Ferrari look like? So to have the Ferrari, how much money are you making a year? Or are you living in your Ferrari? So where do you want to live? What type of house do you want to live? Who lives in that house with you? All these are important questions, because we are creators of our own lives, and I believe this wholeheartedly. And I'm going to explain this more and more as we go along, but like I said, we're creators of our own lives. So everything in our lives we created. If you look around you right now, wherever you're at, and I guarantee everything around you created. Everything around you brought into your life. As much as we don't want to admit that a lot of the times, a lot of the times people say like, well, no, Wes, I didn't want to be overwhelmed with bills. Well, yes, you did, because the bills come from things that you wanted, and maybe it was out of your means to get, and you're struggling with that, but you wanted these things, or you needed these things, like you wanted the new car, so the new car costs money. You got to make them payments. That's where that bill came from. Everything in your life you created. Well, no, Wes, I didn't want this asshole in my life. As a matter of fact, you did, because you let that asshole into your life. You really got to be able to see this is we create everything in our lives. The law of attraction tells us that. There's other universal laws, but that's the main one out there right now that people seem to want to focus on. And it's a good one to focus on, because it can help you achieve and get basically anything you want in life. And we are fully capable of having everything we want in life. It's just a matter of, what do we want? And you have to be really specific on what you want, because the thing is what you put out there is very powerful. It's written, ask and you shall receive. That is real. That is very real. And you might be like, oh great, Wes, I'm going to ask to win the lottery. Okay, yes. You may ask that, and you probably will win the lottery. You just might not win what you think you were going to ask, because you didn't ask exactly what you want to win. I'm not saying that, okay, if you sit down and you say, I want to win $2.5 million tomorrow, that's how it's going to happen. It's not like a magic wand. The law of attraction, God, whatever you believe in, it's not how it works. Whatever you ask for, you will receive, but you got to be really careful about what you ask for. Very, very careful. Like, I'm really hesitant when I pray, or I ask for things, or even when I use the law of attraction to help myself get things that I want, because I know that it doesn't always happen like that, and a lot of the times we'll forget even what we wanted, because in that moment we wanted this, but 6 months down the road, when all of a sudden it shows up, and you're like, well, why is this happening now? Like, yeah, it would have been good there, but right now it's kind of an inconvenience for this to happen. I don't know what I was thinking then. You gotta be careful what you ask for. Words are very, very powerful. What you put out there is very, very powerful. I'll get into that more as we go along. But the most important thing, the way I want to start this is the way I would start and work with any client. And I want you to ask yourself what it is you really want for your life. If you were living your ideal life right now, what would it be? And I want you to keep in mind that whatever it is that you're going to answer that question with, you are 100% able to have that, no matter what it is. Like, I'm coming from where I'm coming from. I gave you a little bit of a briefing in the last video, and there's not a doubt in my mind that I'm going to reach every goal that I set, and I'm going to exceed anything that I even imagined I was going to get to. There's not a doubt in my mind about that. And part of the reason that I can do this is because my belief system that I built up, that I know that these things happen for me. I know that things work out for me. And that's part of it all. So I really would ask that you sit down and you write down on a piece of paper exactly what you want in life. You know, how much money do you want to make a year? Where do you want to live? What does it look like? What does the home look like you want to live in? Who's around you? You know, what do the people look like? You know, if it's you have a family, what is it? 2 boys, 2 girls? Is it you know, what's your wife look like? Who are the people in your life? Because whoever it is you want in your life, you have, and that's a really hard thing to do too, is choosing the people you want in your life, because the people you keep around you will ultimately reflect on you, and that's just a given. That's for sure. You hang around with people that, you know, they're doing drugs, they're partying all the time, you're going to end up doing drugs and partying all the time. I don't care who you are. You hang around people that are just, you know, they're athletes, they want to be in shape, they want to be healthy, they want to, you know, you're going to be the same way. I think you get the idea now. You know, you hang out with people that want to be successful, more than likely you're going to be successful. And you want to keep people around you that they're positive. You don't want people around you that bring negative energy or negative anything to your life. Them people you got to cut out. You know, keep at an arm's distance, or keep at a far distance, to be honest with you. You know, I have many friends, and I don't talk to every one of them every day. You know, some I don't talk to for months, some I don't talk to for years, but that doesn't mean that I don't have just as much love for them as I had whenever. But the people that I keep around me in my day-to-day life, they support what I want. You know, they're trying to do the same things that I'm trying to do. You know, and that's where one thing a lot of people don't understand. You know, they wonder why their life's in the shape it is, and then they don't even take the time to take a look around them to see who it is they're keeping around them, what the conditions are that they're keeping around them. You know, like, there's so much that comes into play, and it's really, really hard to stay on top of everything, but just to be conscious of the fact that you're in control of your own life is a start. You know, so write down what you would like your life to look like if you had your ideal life, and remember in your head that you can have this ideal life. You just gotta want it. That's another thing that really bothers me, you know, is people, they say, oh yeah, you know, like, I would really like to be a famous musician, you know, but that's not realistic. Why isn't that realistic? You know, oh well, because I got bills to pay. Yes, we all got bills to pay. What are you willing to sacrifice to become that musician that actually does that for a living? How many musicians do you know that just, you know, one day decided they wanted to be a musician and they just did it? You know, it's not usually very many musician stories. You know, a lot of them had a lot of hardships, a lot of hard times, and they just stuck with it, and they stuck with it, and they never gave up. And a lot of them did it on their own a lot of the way. You know, like actors slept in cars for 3 years before they ever got their break. You know, it's what are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to do that? A lot of people aren't, you know. And that's why a lot of people get to a point in their lives where they're like, they have the home, they have the house, they have the job, and they're good with it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I salute you, because holding down a home and a family and providing and getting up and working a job that isn't really your ideal job, that's hard to do. But you can have more. It's just, what are you willing to do to get it? That's the biggest question you got to ask yourself, because great things take great effort, take more than the average person's putting out. You want to accomplish something great, you want to be rich, you want to be, traveling the world. You don't want to have to wake up and go into a job that you hate. Well, then you got to be able to sacrifice a lot of things. You got to be willing to put that work in, and you got to fight harder than anybody else that's doing it. Like, you've got to out hustle, outrun every single person, and you've got to want it. You just can't be like, yeah, well, that'd be nice. No, you've got to want it. And like I said, you got to fight. You got to fight to get it. And you can't back down. A lot of the times you're going to get beat down. You got to get right back up. You can barely put your hands up to fight, but you got to put them up. I've been through a lot in my life. I was recently just talking to a friend of mine, and who's going through a lot right now, and he made the same transition that I'm making in my life. And except this guy did 18 years in prison, and he told me what he's going through, and he's going through a lot right now, and it was really inspirational to me. Not what he was going through, but just the fight that he had in him, the determination that he had in him. It's unreal. And I'm not going to get into too much of my friend's story, but against everything going against him, he still got a positive attitude, a positive outlook, and there's not a doubt in my mind that he will overcome and beat everything that he's got thrown at him right now, just because of his attitude, just because of the energy that he's putting out there is amazing. And you've really got to pay attention to that too, what you're putting out there. Pick something that you want to change in your life. Make a goal. Sit down, write 3 goals out. Pick something that you want to change. Start building that muscle up of just achieving your goals. Set small goals. Small goals are believable, therefore achievable. So start building that muscle up. The more that you build that muscle up, the more you're going to be able to set goals and knock them off. But know what you want in life. How are you ever going to get what you want in life if you don't even know what it is that you want? You're always going to fall short because you never knew what it is you really wanted. You know what I mean? Like, there's more that plays into this, but at least know what you want. Know who you are. You can recreate yourself. Nothing's in stone. You can change anything at any time in your life. You just got to choose to do it. And you gotta say to yourself, what am I willing to do to get this? And whatever it is, you got to be willing to go all out. Whether it's to make a huge change in your life, and you got to change the people in your life, and it's hard to do, and cut people out and just start all over. Sometimes to create a new life, you got to destroy the old one. And that's not an easy thing to do, right? Because you're now walking away from everything that you've ever known. That's hard to do. It's really easy to follow and keep doing things that are familiar to us, but when we get outside our comfort zone, that's not easy. And that is what you need to do to make any great change in life. You got to change a lot. Biggest thing you got to do is change your standards. What are your standards right now? Sit down, write out, what are your core beliefs right now? What are beliefs that are holding you back that you have? What are beliefs that are pushing you forward? You know, figure these out. Reprogram yourself. Again, not an easy thing to do. Sometimes you need help with that. Call in a coach, call in a support team, create a circle around you. You know, it's not an easy thing to do, to make change in anything, but you need to make any kind of significant change. From my experience so far, is you've got to be able to relate a lot of pain to that thing to change it. You don't just decide you're going to change something and that makes you feel good and that you're happy with and be like, oh yeah, you know, like I'm good, this makes me feel great, but I'm going to change it. That's not usually how it is. It's like touching a hot burner. You know, if you touch a hot burner, it's going to burn you. You're not going to touch that hot burner again. You're going to change that. And next time you see a hot burner, you're not going to touch it. That's kind of what you got to do. You got to create enough leverage. And in leverage, you can use pain to do that. You know, you can say, you know, I've got to change this because it's having this effect on my life. You know, and then you got to change your standards of your life and your belief systems altogether. And you got to set new ones that are empowering, that help you reach your goals. You know, have goals. That is one of the most important part. How many of you right now can pull out a piece of paper out of your pocket and read to me your goals that you have right now, that you're trying to achieve in your life right now? How many of you know exactly what it is you're trying to achieve right now? Or are you just living day to day and expecting something great to happen or expecting some kind of break to happen? Life doesn't work like that. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the effort. You got to put in the time. You know, write down your goals. Get your leverage to make the changes you got to do and change whatever it is you want to change, and set your standards higher of what you expect from yourself, of what you expect from others. You know, if there's people in your life that are holding you down, that don't make you feel good, that don't, cut them out. You know, like, life is too short. You owe nobody nothing. You know, like, you owe it to yourself. You owe it to your loved ones. You owe it to your kids. If you have kids, you owe it to the people you care about, that care about yourself. You know, and you have to do this if you want to change anything in your life. You know, I'm going through a lot of changes in my life right now, and I'm coming through a lot of different realizations, you know, but what I really want people to understand is there's nothing we can't do, and you gotta believe this wholeheartedly. You know, don't limit yourself. The way you communicate with yourself in your head, don't say I can't do this, I can't do that, oh this and that. Don't do that. You know, it's not wishful thinking. It's not, you know, some fantasy. You know, all these people that achieve all these great things and come from nothing and become millionaires and whatever, there's nothing special about them other than their drive, the way they look at things, their belief systems, you know, and the fight in them, the heart in them. You know, you owe it to yourself to do these things. And a lot of you are watching this because you know me personally. The ones of you who aren't watching this because you know me personally, but are watching this because you're actually seeking out to improve your life. So you've been scrolling through different motivational videos and stuff like that. You're hungry for something else. You want something else. Figure out what it is first. Don't just aimlessly do it. Figure it out. Anyway, I want to thank everybody again. I really hope that a lot of you do this. Take the time, take a pen and paper out, write down what it is you want. Write down 3 goals that you want to achieve and set out to do them. Figure out how to do them. Once you know what you want, it's easier to figure out how to get it. But if you don't know what exactly you want, how the fuck do you figure out how to get it? You can't. So I hope that you guys do this. I'm trying to make these videos a little shorter so that I can keep your attention. Until the next one, which I'm going to try to keep more frequent, God bless. And my heart goes out to everybody fighting a struggle right now. And my prayers go out to everybody trying to better themselves and achieve great goals and just improve the quality of their lives. I'm here for you, and I'm going to try my best to give you everything that I can to help you reach these goals, and improve the quality of your lives. And you're all going to watch me do it to my own life. So thank you again. Until the next video, I wish you the best, and God bless.